Hey, this is Catherine, and I'm with KMS Business Marketing Solutions. I'm here with Jacque McShane, and we are going to do a podcast today on time blocking. So, say hi to our guest, Jacque.
Hello.
Jackie's a really good friend of mine, and I'm super excited to have her here today. And I don't know about you, but Jackie always tells me I should time block, and every time she says it, I cringe. I'm like, I don't have time to time block. It makes me very anxious. So I don't know if you're like that, but Jackie is here today to tell us how easy it is to time block, why we should do it, and how to get started. So, how do we get started, Jackie?
Well, first of all, I want to address the fact that Catherine said I'm always telling her to time block because the reason for that is she is very creative and she has all of these dreams in her heart. And in order to make time to make those things happen, you've got to set a schedule for yourself and really prioritize what's important to you. And that's really the first step is listing out what your roles and responsibilities are,
Okay.
figuring out what's important to you and prioritizing them.
No, which is awesome, and I'll tell you, she has mentioned that a few times, and um, I am here to learn with you because I really want to time block. I know I should time block. In my head, it just doesn't. It's not easy in my head yet. So we are going to try to make it easy. We're going to go through a few steps, and then Jackie's actually doing a workshop. So for those that really want to master time blocking, she's going to offer a great workshop that you can jump on the bandwagon with and master this art in your life and have less stress, less anxiety, and yeah. So once we figure out our priorities, what's our next step?
So I think a lot of times people have a difficult time kind of weeding that out. And so once you list out all of your roles, especially as women, we tend to wear a lot of hats. We're doing a lot of different things. And so listing those all out and prioritizing them. And you may have some that it's hard to say this is number one. You know, sometimes between kids and spouse, like you don't necessarily want to list number one and number
Right.
two, that kind of thing. But just saying these are my top 3 to 5, and
Right.
making sure that those go into your calendar first, and those are getting the best of you.
And I know you said earlier habits. So you want to create a habit for time blocking. So I believe you said at nighttime, taking 10 to 15 minutes every night to time block your next day or to look at your schedule and make sure you're fitting the most important things in. Is that correct?
Yeah, and so what we were talking about is to actually start. If you don't have any kind of process, I would say it takes about 2 hours. So if you can find 2 hours in the next couple of weeks to sit down and really go through this process and get the base, the foundation of your schedule set, then I spend about 5, 10, maybe 15 at most. Probably,
Okay.
actually, that's a little excessive. I'd say I never spend more than 10 minutes at night just looking at my next day and saying, okay, did I schedule an appointment that might overlap my gym time, you know?
Right.
And if I did, no big deal. The great thing about an electronic calendar is I can just slide that gym time into another space. Um, but it's that daily habit to review it, to look and say, okay, what adjustments need to be made, and am I setting my day up to be congruent with my priorities?
Okay, so step number one is to take a 2 hour slot time in this next week to figure out your time blocking calendar. Um, Put it in play. Do you recommend doing the same things every day, like gym time at 6 a.m., at least to start out? So for me, I would have gym time, I would have social media from like 8 to 10, maybe a time block for appointments, and then afternoon, you put in whatever you need in the afternoon. Do you also time block after work and with your family? Do you time block that in as well?
Absolutely, because I feel like if you're not setting time aside for your family,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to allow other things to come into that
Right.
time. And so just like you want to protect your time and your time blocks. So I always talk about There are certain time blocks that should not be interrupted unless it's blood, flood, or fire.
Right.
And people think, oh, well, that's work,
Right.
but no, that means the appointments that you're setting with yourself. So I know the gym has been really important to you this year,
Yes.
trying to make the habit of getting there, and you've done awesome at that. So that's an appointment that you're making for yourself. So when somebody calls and says, hey, Catherine, let's go to coffee at 8 a.m., and that's your gym time. Now, if you can slide that gym time to accommodate the coffee date, then that's great.
Right.
If you have that flexibility that day. Otherwise, you ask that friend, hey, I want to get coffee with you, but this is what
This
I'm
comes
available.
first. So it's basically taking your calendar, prioritizing your calendar and your days, being intentional,
Yes.
which is a big word for you. Be intentional with your day, create healthy habits. And so I'm very excited to get the time blocking aspect of my life under control. I'm going to be doing her webinar or workshop. It'll be a time blocking workshop. And we will share that information with you. Or would you like to tell them right now?
Actually, if you want that information, you can find it in two places easily. You can find me on Facebook, Jacque McShane, JACQUEMCSHANE, or you can find my business page, Forge Health, FORGE Health, and there is a post about that there, or you can private message me, and I'm happy to send you the link. That workshop's being held on December 3rd.
So we will definitely post all that information. And if you have other questions, I'm sure we can get Jackie to come back and do a follow-up. I would love to know progress that you're having on your time blocking, and I will probably share mine once I get it down. So thank you for coming out and talking with us today.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Our goal is not letting your calendar control you, but you controlling your calendar. And with Jackie, we are going to make it happen. So stay tuned for updates and have a great day.
Bye.